Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Rodney Glover. I am the candidate for governor for Florida. Something we have to establish is what is a fact. A fact is something that we can all look at and come to the same conclusion. There is no difference. There is no ambiguity. That means we cannot see this fact two different ways. Here is what we're looking at. There are 120 members that make up the House in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida. You can find this at flhouse.gov. You can count all the members. It's going to equal 120. To pass a bill out of the House to the Senate takes 61 votes. You can find that in Article 3, Section 7. Passage of a bill shall require a majority vote in each House. There are 40 members that make up the Senate in the state of Florida. You can find that at flsenate.gov. Go count them. To pass a bill out of the Senate to the governor's desk, you need 21 members to do that, a simple majority. You can find that again, Article 3, Section 7 of Florida's Constitution. Now we have facts. When a candidate comes to you asking you for your vote, are they making promises rooted in facts? Meaning, are they telling you that they have the 61 votes necessary to get through the House to the Senate and the 21 votes necessary to get from the Senate to the governor's desk? Can they tell you they have that? Can they show you they have that? Or are they playing on your feelings and telling you what they want to do, but have no plan to make sure that it happens? My campaign, Rodney Glover's campaign, is built on legislative authority for citizens amendment, giving Florida citizens direct voting power over legislation that affects the majority of the population. In order for me to do that, I would need 72 votes in the House and 24 votes in the Senate, a 3/5 majority of each chamber in a single legislative session. That's if I was going to take that route. You can find that in Article 11, Section 1. What I'm trying to do is ask you, is this the first time you've heard those numbers so that you can understand what it takes for these people to tell the truth? Now, if you go look at my webpage, glover2026.com, I show you that I am not going to use Article 11, Section 1, because I don't believe that the House and the Senate wants to give you, the citizen, that much power over them. So I'm asking the citizens to vote by way of Article 11, Section 3, a citizen-led petition initiative. That's what I'm asking when I become governor of Florida. This is rooted in facts, things that you can look up to verify and validate. Now, my question to you, no matter who your candidate is, are you telling me that you are voting for them and the promises they made because they told you exactly that they already have the backing of the House and the Senate to pass their bills? The money does not mean that they have the votes. Let's be very clear about that. Just because your candidate has raised the most money, just because your candidate has the most reach, doesn't mean that they have the votes. And therein lies the corruption. So now that you have the facts, what on earth are you arguing? If you ask your candidate, can you name off all 61 people that are going to back what you're talking about? You should be able to get yes. I am 100% struggling to get petitions done. So I will never tell you that I can do that, because right now citizens are not basing their votes off of facts. They're basing them off of how they feel when they hear an individual say that they're going to do all of this stuff for them. But the numbers don't lie. So if you ask the numbers, you can get your answer. Now, I'm relying on for the people, by the people. And it's the hardest route to go, because people are not rooting their decisions in facts anymore. I don't even know if we were, but I know right now we're not, because I am seeing citizens say, that's my candidate. Well, who is backing your candidate? When they say backing, they think, well, I'm backing them. You don't get, as a non-elected citizen, You do not get to vote on every piece of legislation. That's why when bad legislation comes, you're held responsible because you keep saying, that's what I wanted, but you never voted on it. I want your name on every piece of legislation that affects every Floridian so you can back what you say you're voting for. If you guys are really saying that you wanted to never address rent, then why didn't you put your names on Senate Bill 102, which is the Senate bill, if you go look for it, which is the Senate bill that says we will never address rent relief in the state of Florida? If that's what you're saying you wanted. Now, I have met in person citizens, and that's not what's happening. But I'm encouraging you to give me support so that what you want, you can actually vote on, because the things that are affecting you, you should have a say so. Have a great day.